But I will show now basic rigging. So under the rigging tool, I'm actually going to first make another sphere. So I'm going to make a little finger. And in order to use any sort of rigging, it's going to deform the mesh based on a set of bones, kind of like a puppet, you need places where the mesh will bend. So just like when we were utilizing like polygonal modeling techniques, if you want to move a vertice, there needs to be a vertice there to move. So I'm going to go into the P-cylinder tab, and then I'm going to increase the subdivisions, and I'm going to go into my side view, quad view, and I'm going to go into my rigging, and there we are, and add some bones. So this tool here is going to create joints. So I can start at the bottom, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it'd probably be easier to do with some sort of either in wireframe or in like your solid view with X-ray turned on, which I am not seeing. New shading, there we go. X-ray. So I can see all of the joints in there, and then I'm going to use my select tool, and I can see that the bones aren't on the inside from the side view, so I'll just move those into the center and just double check here. Shading X-ray. There we go. So they're more or less in the center, and they're kind of irregularly spaced, but that's fine. It's pretty forgiving. You can always go in and edit, like location of these things if you want to get super precise. Not necessary for this. So selecting the bones, and then shift and select the mesh. So this is we're about to parent basically the mesh we're going to parent the bones to the mesh. So the mesh will be a child of the bones. The bones will control the mesh. So we want to always select the parent first. So select the bones first. Select the bones, and then join one, and then hold down shift and select the mesh, and then under our rigging tab we can go into constrain, and then skin, bind skin. So once we've done that, if I click off, I can see, let me go into my go into my X-ray view. I can see that the bottom bone, that's the root bone, which can control the entire mesh. So if I move that root bone, it's going to move all of the mesh. If I look up through that kind of like heat map, though, I can see like the parent-child relationship within the bones themselves, right? So each one of these bones is a child of the bone before it, and it will allow me to let me go back out into my shading, turn off X-ray. So it's going to allow me, and I'll turn on X-ray joint maybe. It's going to allow me to select the bones and kind of move them like a finger, right? So since these are all parented, like the translate doesn't work super awesome. It kind of deforms. I mean, you can use that if that's like an interesting effect that you want, but primarily you'd want to translate, if you want to move your object, you translate the root bone and then kind of move up and do your rotations. And with like skeletal structures, primarily what you're going to be using are these rotates, right? That's how kind of skeletons work. They're not like disassociating or dislocating. They're just like rotating in different directions. All right, so that is the basics. We'll get into more complex rigging in the next assignment, but I wanted to show that as an option. And then you can always keyframe these joints. So you always want to select the root joint. I mean, it depends on what you're moving. While you're learning, I think keying everything's good, because you can, if you're kind of going in and like editing lots of bones, it can you can lose track of what you've moved and what you haven't. So that kind of breaks my like only key what you have to rule. I think for bones, it's actually much easier to key everything. So select the root bone. So Let's see here. So it was only parenting, so you need to go through and select all of the joints and then hit S and then move to like frame 130 and then let's see, change that rotation. Boop. And select all of the bones and then hit S and then it should, yeah, there we go. So now you've got this kind of rotatey, wormy thing. All right, so that's going to be it. I will record another video that, if you are curious, utilizes another physics network called MASH. But I think I'm going to maybe wait and introduce more complex physics in the next assignment. But I'll post it in case anybody's interested. But we'll cover it in class for the next assignment. Okay, I hope this is useful. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you soon. Bye.